China is not trying to do clean anything.
No. But they are trying. The irony here is, well, first of all, I'm happy that he said nuclear. He's all for it. I think that is our future. If you really want clean energy, that's what we've got to start. Our approach has to be. The interesting thing about this whole we're in a clean energy race, China has no interest. Clearly, they're building 100 coal plants, all this stuff. What they're trying to do is get everybody else to go onto the solar and the EVs because guess what? They're the ones that are actually producing a lot of those things.
That's right.
Look,
and then all of a sudden you become dependent on China.
You guys see this picture? This story was posted in 2014. This is virtual sunlight in Tiananmen Square. Mm-hmm. Instead of seeing a sunrise, they put up a gigantic screen to show a sunrise because the smog is so bad. China's not doing clean anything. They don't care.
Nope.
Their attitude is largely, quote, it's our turn now.
Yes.
They say, you industrialized, now we industrialize, and you can't stop us.
Yeah, I said this a couple times on the show. It's like, if people in the United States are actually that concerned with the green revolution or whatever, then you don't want to focus your attention here. You want to focus your attention on India and China because both of those countries have 1.5 billion people and they are not fully industrialized like the United States is.
Well, the other thing too, like when the U.S. says we're going to pull back on our climate, we're going to pull back on our emissions and all of that stuff, it's just another way to say we are going to subsume ourselves to minorities globally, except they're not minorities. We're the minority globally. They're not.
I think we need to start looking at energy policy as a national security
I think that's a great idea.
issue. No, we have to because if you actually of your own you capitulate and say we're going to go down the EV path, we're going to do solar, all of these things. Again, I think it's 90+% China is actually producing in the world market of EV batteries and I think solar panels as well. You are going to basically subject yourself because they will be providing your energy if we go down that path, God forbid. And then all of a sudden, energy policy is national security, and there's no national security. Like, at some point, we have to get these people who are pushing us to go down this path and say, you are pushing us down a path of being subservient to China, not the distant future, sadly, in a relatively short term if we're not careful.
That's an argument that I heard Marco Rubio making today, that if we don't do something, then he probably wasn't making it today, he probably made it on Monday or whatever. But if we don't do something about our posture towards China, we're going to be depending on China for things that we desperately need, like all our medications, all kinds of things.
Is it penicillin? I'm trying to remember what it is, but like 90% of our penicillin for the army, for the military, is produced by China.
All that's anything that we need for our national security.
Like, there's just so much stuff that is actually a national security issue.
And this is why I think TikTok's got to go. Gotta go.
I don't disagree.
Just get rid of it.
Yeah. No, I mean, divest from China. It's really simple. Look, there's a lot of people out there who say Trump is altruistic and he is motivated purely by the goodness of his own heart. And I'm like, well, hold on there a minute. Donald Trump certainly is motivated, but I think he's a good guy. I've seen him be nice to people. He's been nice to me. I think he's a nice guy.
Genuinely warm in person.
He is, but he's a human being who wants to accomplish things and feel good about the things he accomplishes. He's a guy who puts his name in giant gold letters on tops of buildings.
You've seen his signature.
It's a beautiful,
very John
beautiful
Hancock
signature.
Yes.
But so TikTok realizes censorship is coming their way. Conservatives are upset about it. So what do? They put a flip on it, help Trump out a little bit, make Trump happy, and now Trump's backed off banning TikTok. I don't care who they're helping. I do not like the idea of China having influence over our younger generation.
I agree. I don't like it.
The only reason Trump won is because of Gen X, not because of Gen Z. And now Trump's going, you know, I think maybe, he invites the CEO of TikTok to his inauguration, says maybe we should hold off on banning it. And I'm like, here we go. Trump's going to get out of office. TikTok's going to go tenfold in the other direction, and we are all going to be worse off because of it.
I'm hoping, I think fundamentally at his very core, Donald Trump is an old school, I love America, I love everything that has made this country great. I want to do everything that will return us to greatness. I think at some point he's going to wake up and realize, I think it's Kellyanne, to be honest. I think Kellyanne Conway has been pushing some of this.
Really?
For pro TikTok?
Yeah. So,
why do you think that is?
I think she's probably getting a consulting fee from them, from what I've seen. I think she's actually a lobbyist for them. She's also taking money from Ukrainians and all that stuff. That's yeah. There's a problem with some folks in which it's They're taking money from interesting sources. That all to say, I think Trump's instincts are going to kick back in when he realizes I have to be consistent across the board on the issue of China. And I think TikTok is part of that being consistent, right? No, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
At some point, it's going to kick back in.
The concern that I have is TikTok doesn't allow, or China doesn't allow TikTok in their own country. That's a red flag right there. TikTok has Douyin. They don't allow TikTok in their own country. Why? I think it's a weapon against young people. Even if 30% of the content is woke, they know they're creating an economic drag to the tune of 30% of the young people who follow that crackpot ideology, even if it's 5%.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. In the United States, X, Facebook, YouTube, they have the same garbage ideology, but Americans are allowed to have that ideology. What we don't want is our foreign adversaries fanning the flames of an illogical, broken mental state that is wokeness, so that our young people grow up and we end up with a story about a councilwoman in Massachusetts who's taking a month of leave because she's been misgendered.
They've been misgendered.
Wokeness.
I'm sorry.
Wokeness is weakness.
And
that, no, I agree with this.
Pushed this to an extreme degree until Trump said, let's ban it. And then they kissed Trump's ass. And now Trump says, let's keep it.
No, I think we should. I think we should pull the thread a little bit on the whole wokeness is weakness. I mean, wokeness on energy policy is weakness. Again, going back to national security, but this whole idea of weakening, it's the mind virus in our our younger generations, and weakening them in the face of. I mean, I think we're in for some pretty challenging times on the international stage.
Trump had an executive order in his first term to ban TikTok.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.